What's up guys, and welcome to another video in Wild Kinetics. My name is Elam, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a generator. I'm going to be building a generator for you guys today. Alright, so don't forget to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel down below if you haven't already, in order for me to keep posting more videos like this. And comment down below if you guys have any other video suggestions for videos that I can do in the future. I'll be sure to take a look at those and share this video with your friends and family. Now let's get into it. So here I have my bike right here. So this is what I'm going to be using to make my generator. So I'm just going to be explaining to you guys first how to make the generator, or like how the generator works, and then I'm going to explain to you guys how to actually make the generator. For this, you are going to need a bit of special supplies though. As you can see here, this is a bike trainer right here. So what this does is you can put your bike on it and then turn it into a sort of stationary bike of sorts, and that way when you turn the wheel, it turns this wheel right here, which can provide resistance, and we're going to be placing our motor on that. More on that later, but this is just to be able to pedal stationary on your bike and provide motion to that wheel, so that way you can provide electricity, or you can generate electricity. As you can see, I cut out this part here right here. So I cut this out right here because I needed to have somewhere to mount the motor. So the motor is going to be spinning here, and it's going to be mounted here. The other materials you're going to need are this is called a den rail right here. So basically you can find this at probably a hardware store or an electrical store. It's going to be holding these terminal blocks right here. These are called terminal blocks, where you can put in wires, and then you can connect them to other wires, which will be used in the generator. So the motor can plug in through here, and the motor that's going to be generating the electricity can be plugged in through here, and anything that's going to be powered by that motor can be plugged in through here, or vice versa. Alright, you're also going to need some duct tape to tape the motor. You're going to need a multimeter to see if you're actually getting any power, which is actually very useful because you may or may not know if you're getting any power at all. A knife. You're going to need some wires, of course. These are the wires for the motor that's going to be powering the whole system, and this motor is going to be powered by this motor through this generator system. And lastly, you might need some electrical tape to basically attach the wires together. So let's get into it. So what I'm going to do first is get these motor wires ready. So I have this one done already. It's a little loose, so I might have to redo it because it's already slipping off. Yeah, it slipped off. So basically you just want to have them tight like this. So you want to strip the wire if it's not stripped already, and then you just want to tighten it up. This motor is a 12-volt motor that came out of a Power Wheels car, so that's what we're going to be using today for the generator. So as you can see, I twisted the ends together. Try to twist them as tight as possible so that way they don't get loose, and then try and use some electrical tape, of course, to prevent any electric shock when doing this, because that is inevitable. Just simply get the tape and wrap it around the wires as tight as possible to make sure that it doesn't get loose, because it does happen. So sometimes I have to keep constantly basically retaping these because of this. Now that I have them ready, I am ready to attach my motor on here. So again, I just want to show you real quick. This is a terminal block. Here's a closer view of this. If you want to unscrew or screw on the wires, first you want to have them stripped, but you also want to use a screwdriver to screw and unscrew the wires. Just don't strip them too much or you might get this, so just make sure to keep your fingers away from this so you don't get electrocuted. This isn't going to be a high voltage system anyway, so there is low risk of that, but it could be inevitable. So here's how this works actually. So you stick your wire in here, and then you have your screw. And then you can basically, what you can do is you can just unscrew it to remove the wire, or screw it in to actually press the wire in and keep it in place. And then you also have this one right here, and then the power can be transferred over here, and you can attach wires here. And as you can see, we have a loop here, right here. That means that this is also going to be a positive end. Green is positive, black is negative, white is positive, black is negative here. So then that means that you can also attach a system from here. Actually, this is where we are going to be attaching the motor that's going to be powered from here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to basically attach the motor here. So as you can tell, I also have this 3D printed ring, it's going to be to help it gain some traction. So more on that later. But first, I'm going to attach the motor here. It's going to sit right here on this piece of metal that I I just cut it out right here, and then I bent it back using a pair of pliers, and this is where it's just going to rest. Metal on metal doesn't normally fit very well, doesn't normally go very well, so that's why I'm using this thing right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my duct tape, and I'm just going to tape this across here. Once it's on, now we can place our ring, and we can just try and force this up here and put the ring here. The reason this is kind of slanted down here is to prevent the ring from going out. Originally, I would put electrical tape around here in this gear to give it some traction, but it would keep flying off. So then that's where I got the idea of just pointing this down, slightly downward, so that way this thing wouldn't slide off. Now I just need to make sure the tire can spin properly on this thing, because sometimes it does slip. So I'm just going to adjust the resistance on here to allow it to turn much better. So as you can see, it turns. So now let's take our multimeter and see if we are getting good readings. These terminal blocks are useful because you can actually put the multimeter tips into each thing and keep them there instead of having to constantly hold them there. So basically you just put them into each port. So I'm going to put one in the positive, putting the red in the positive, and putting the black in the negative. You may have to switch those out later. It just depends on if it's positive or negative. I set my multimeter rating to 20 volts since we're not going to do any higher than that, because this is a max 12 volt motor, which can probably pull a little more than that, but we'd have to practically go insanely fast in order for that to work. So I'm just going to turn it on real quick. It's at 0 right now, alright? So it's at 0 right now. Let's see what happens when we turn the motor. As you can see, it's giving me negative voltage. That's because I need to switch these around. Alright, let's try it again. Now I'm getting some voltage, as you can see. Although the tire slips a little bit, I am getting a bit of voltage, so I'm just going to turn up the resistance just a little bit, so that way I can get better voltage. But as you can see, I'm turning the tire and it is giving me voltage. So let's see what happens when I pedal. So as you can tell, the system pretty much works. It's all hooked up. The energy is being transferred from the motor to the terminal block, which the multimeter detects as voltage. Now let's see if we can attach this motor so you guys can see it actually working in motion. Here's my motor. You need to have the ends of the wire stripped in order for it to work properly, so that way you can attach it onto this terminal block right here. So we're going to attach it in the middle. I'm going to attach the negative to the negative and the positive to the positive, which is black equals negative, red equals positive in this case. So I'm just going to attach the black one right here in the middle and the red one right next to the black. Since I have hooked up this system right here where both ports are negative and both ports are positive, I am able to do that, which is the good advantage of terminal ports and not just directly connecting the wires to each other. Alright, it has been attached. The motor is attached. Now, let's see what happens when I pedal my bike. So as you can tell, the motor does turn. It turns pretty well. That's because power is going from the motor to turn the motor. Let's see how many volts it actually takes to turn this motor. And as you can tell, the motor has spun. And that is the basic concept of how a generator works and how you can build one. I will have to see later on if I can make a video of it charging my phone, but for now, this is the best of what I can do so far to explain to you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and certainly don't forget to check out all my other videos, especially the ones I did on electronics and technology. Leave a like, subscribe down below, and comment down below if you guys have any other video suggestions for videos that I can do in the future. And share this with your friends and family. I appreciate you guys for all your support, and as always, thank you for watching. See you next time.